watching the new and old Mortal Kombat made me decide to go back to another video game movie. One that is heralded as one of the very worst, one of the very dumb. I decided to go back to it with an open mind. Yeah, still dumb.
Of course!
Hey guys, it's Jim. Welcome back to the channel, a place to geek out over movies. And Streetfighter, I gave it a chance. I keep going back to these bad kind of 90s movies. Batman and Robin, Terminator 3, which is 2000s. But I keep going back to them. The notorious movies of myself growing up, where I just think, they couldn't have been that bad, could they? And yeah, they're always that bad. So I decided to do a video, 5 dumbest things in Streetfighter, because it's hard to pick 5, because every moment of this film is basically dumb. It makes me appreciate the Mortal Kombat movie even more at the time. I'm surprised we even got a decent video game movie back then. Van Damme, what were you thinking? Now, I love JeanClaude Van Damme, I genuinely do. He's made so many good films. He really has. He has this reputation for being a terrible actor. And this is the kind of movie that gives him that reputation. Streetfighter 1994 is why people think Van Damme is a terrible actor. Van Damme plays Colonel Guile, who is the lead in this film, going up against the mighty, dangerous M. Bison, played by Raul Julia. And this is Guile from the game, guys. This is Guile. This is not JeanClaude Van Damme.
Well, I'm the Reaper Man. And you're out of business.
He didn't even bother to dye his hair blonde. He's already got like a dodgy hair colour in the film, like halfway house between brown and ginger. Why don't you just go jet blonde? He doesn't look anything like the character. He's not the nationality of the character. And his performance is so bad, it's so lame, it's so cringe. And it's such a shame because Van Damme, when he actually tries, he's a good actor. But this is such a cringe fest for me, this performance. I think Van Damme is probably one of the main problems with Streetfighter, and that's, I'm putting him on this list. It's an ambitious thing to say when the movie is that shite.
That bastard Bison! I know you like to look at yourself on television, you sick son of a bitch. So look at this.
And the other baffling thing is that if I was casting a Streetfighter movie, I wouldn't have cast him as Guile, but I'd probably have Van Damme in there somewhere. I probably would. I guess he was just miscast, and it was just such a bad performance. He's probably too busy with his Google eyes for Kylie Minogue in this. That's what I genuinely think. He just took the role because he knew Kylie would be on set. Streetfighter characters have been to the job centre. Chun-Li and E. Honda, 2 great characters from the game, are news reporters. Granted, they are undercover. They're just doing these jobs to get close to M. Bison or whatever the hell it is. Plot doesn't make sense. But these characters are so cool. I actually think for characters, it's such a toss-up between Streetfighter and Mortal Kombat, who has the best characters. It's really close. But Streetfighter's characters are so cool. Chun-Li and M. Bison were such cool, striking characters from my childhood growing up playing the game. And they're just nothing in this. They're just laughable. And you don't want to see them as reporters. No one's actually a fighter in this movie. Dalsum is just this random geezer at a desk working for M. Bison, which, Dalsum is this crazy kind of Indian guy who can stretch and levitate in the games. In this, he's just some lad behind a desk. He can't do anything. He doesn't have any powers. This is what's frustrating. Mortal Kombat, you say what you want about the film. If you don't like it, that's fine. The 1995 Mortal Kombat, at least the characters are accurate. At least they're actually written like the characters. At least they actually have the goals of the characters. Ryu and Ken in this are literally just a couple of lads messing about. Just doing cheap cons. Like, they're literally both Frank Abagnale in this. Frank Abagnale Jr. from Catch Me If You Can. That's Ryu and Ken in this. Ryu and Ken were so cool in the game. I loved how they had the same moves. They were kind of like a different nationality version of each other, and I always found that really intriguing. They look nothing like their counterparts, especially Ken. Ken looks like a bloody lifeguard. He doesn't look like Ken from the game. Where's his long blonde hair? Van Damme and the guy who played Ken, I'm not going to look his name up because you know what, he done terrible. They need to share some hair dye and actually look like their characters. Seriously. I will give them credit. Vega is a fighter in this film. Vega is a fighter. But guess what? Just as we were about to have a fight with Vega, good old Van Damme bursts in and ruins it. As if I didn't hate him enough in this movie.
You're all under arrest.
Blanca. Just Blanca. Blanca in the games was so cool. I remember as a kid, I was just blown away with it. He was probably my favourite character in Street Fighter and in fighting games. I loved it. I love how he was this kind of crazy man creature from the woods. I remember reading the manual, the video game manual, and it gave you all the characters' biographies. And Blanca was this like man, half animal. He lived in the woods, and he'd done his electricity, and he was such a striking, scary character. And he was green, and he was orange hair. This Blanca is like the Incredible Hulk. If the Hulk was shit, he looks so lame. Look at that hack job on the makeup. Bloody hack job. He doesn't even fight. We don't even get to see Blanca do his electricity or Blanca do anything. At least if you're going to have him in it, he has to fight. And you know, it just drives me insane because he's such a cool character. And it's almost like they threw it in your face to just say, yeah, this is what we think of Blanca. We're going to make him so embarrassing and just a bit of a loser, a bit of a glum idiot. And oh, it's terrible. Identity crisis. I don't know what they were doing with this plot-wise. I genuinely don't. Like, I don't know what they were drawing from. I don't know what they were going for. It seems like now and again it seems like a James Bond spy film. Now and again it feels like a really weird kind of action espionage film. But it's never a martial arts movie. Or there's kind of this camp soap opera feeling throughout. But it never feels like a Street Fighter movie, ever. Anytime anything Street Fighter occurs in this, it just feels crowbarred in. I mean, you know, I went back to this movie with such an open mind, guys. I was so happy to give it a chance, you know, because I love Mortal Kombat 95. And I remember mildly liking Super Mario Brothers. Don't hold me to it, because if I revisit that, I'm sure we'll end up in the same place. But I have better memories of Mario Brothers than this. Sad to go back to it and actually see that all the hate it gets is pretty much justified. It's not even that fun. It's not even that entertaining. It's quite boring to watch, and it's got a real identity crisis. Round 1, fight or don't. There's no fights in this, guys. There's no fights. Van Damme stopped the first fight in the film, the bastard. Stopped it in its tracks. There is no fights. Whenever there is a slight fight, it's a fumble, it's a quick splash in the pan. Like there's scenes in this where everyone's fighting, but it's not fluid, it's not one-on-one, it's not combat. It's not what you wanted from the games. It's really weird, fast, fumbling fights where no one's doing their special moves. You do not get one sodding special move in this. In the Mortal Kombat movies, you got the special moves. This is why I give it so much credit, Mortal Kombat, looking back, because it actually tried to put in the moves. Yes, you don't get Ryu doing the Hadouken, probably because he's so shit and he can't do them, because he's just some lad, some comm man. Blanca doesn't do the electricity. Guile doesn't do the sonic boom. The only one who really does do his special moves is M. Bison, played by Raul Julia, who is the only highlight of this film. It's quite a good villain performance. He's quite funny, he's quite intimidating, he's quite over the top, he's quite engaging in the role. He's got a lot of presence. And he does fight Van Damme at the end, but it's not really a fight. Again, Van Damme, we've seen so many great fights. Lionheart is a wonderful Van Damme film, which should be held up against Street Fighter as a way that you could have done Street Fighter with Van Damme. There's loads of fights, there's loads of street fights, there's loads of great fights, they're all fluid, they're all shot well. Van Damme looks like $1 million in it. You know, others, Bloodsport, Van Damme looks like $1 million. Hard Target, there's so many movies. And you really could have done with that in this final fight between Van Damme and Bison, and it's shocking. There is no engagement, it's not a fight, it's not a back and forth, there's no combat. Van Damme hits like one amazing kick and the rest of it is just Raul Julia pissing around. I must admit, I did find it hilarious to just repeatedly see M. Bison knock down Guile when he levitates. It's pretty priceless.
This is merely superconductor electromagnetism. Surely you've heard of it. It levitates bullet trains from Tokyo to Osaka. It levitates my desk, where I ride the saddle of the world. And it levitates me.
I could watch that all day. It's just a joke, isn't it? It's just a joke. Like, while Mortal Kombat 95, you were laughing along with it. The jokes were smart. The jokes were pretty cool. Everyone was in on the joke. This, when you do laugh at any of it, you're laughing at it. Even when there's jokes, you're laughing at it. They're cringe-worthy jokes. They're too campy for their own good. I feel like Mortal Kombat is Batman Forever, and Street Fighter is Batman and Robin. You know, Mortal Kombat's still campy, it's still a bit dumb, but it's light years ahead of Street Fighter. Do I dare go back and revisit Super Mario Brothers, guys? I've been thinking of doing it. Do you guys want to see me go back? Do I dare to go back and revisit Super Mario Brothers? I remember it being a wild, madcap, silly adventure, but it's probably going to annoy me because I had some mild positive thoughts about going back to this. Dear God, does this deserve all the hate it gets? You know, and I love Van Damme. You know, I was on a Van Damme kick. Let's go back to Street Fighter. No, let's not.
I get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Yeah, I'd go home. Let me know what you think of this list of the 5 dumbest things in Street Fighter. Let me know what you think of the movie in the comments. And let me know if you want to see me revisit Super Mario Brothers. I'm considering it. I'm considering it. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my review of the Mortal Kombat 1995 movie and also my review of the new Mortal Kombat film. And please subscribe if you love to geek out over movies just like me. If you always watch a movie and then you feel like talking about it for hours afterwards, this is the channel for you. We can have that vibe. We can have that going on. Let's talk for hours about how dumb Street Fighter is. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys next time.